Religion tells us that man was created by an all-loving God, and now man worships this God as his creator. Yet upon further inspection, one would have to ask why this all-loving God created man identical to the animal. Was it for his evolution, or was it for his enslavement? If you do not believe that the physical body was intentionally designed quite literally identical to the animal, please watch the following short scenes. If you're not convinced that man acts no different to an animal, continue watching. Perhaps this may convince you. Still not convinced? Can you see it yet? Everything we do is no different to that of an animal. Keep watching, for there is only one thing promised to us in this life. And finally, death. Some of you may see this, some of you may not. Ultimately, it has become evident that after having viewed the previous clips, man does not differentiate from the beast in the field. What were the motives of this creator in regard to the construction of the physical body? Was the spiritual essence placed in the body to evolve or devolve? Why have all ancient texts and scriptures informed us that we must fight the beast within and not procreate? Did they know something that we do not? Is it due to our choice to ignore through our ignorance of these truths that we find ourselves currently in this state? There is much to the story than what we have been told. To master the body is to master the beast within. To be part of the herd mentality is to follow the demands of the evil creator who constructed the physical matrix. Modern civilization is nothing more than consent by the masses to act like animals in a civilized way, without acknowledging the beast nature within. Yet, man blames an exterior beast outside himself, without taking responsibility for the beast within. Let me say here, there is no horned beast, devil, external to man. For the horns are nothing but a symbol for the horny nature of the beast within. Man himself is the beast, and he who blames those outside himself will undoubtedly find himself in a fallen state. Now, there is no God in the clouds who is coming to save you, for it is this same God who brought forth this fate you now embody. The choice is yours, man. Beast or spirit, choose. There are two ruling entities within man today. One can be defined as the undying spirit, whose essence resides external to this matrix. The other is the physical body, with a master known as the ego. The ego can be known as the I, the one who identifies with labels, names, age, birth, race, job, titles, whatever you want to call it. It is the illusionary self. It is whatever the body is playing out to be. The spirit is who you really are. However, when the ego is in control and the spirit is a slave to the ego, the body, which are the desires, the attractions, the addictions of the body, the spirit is basically sitting there within the body, being ruled by the ego, hanging, whimpering, crying, waiting to be seen. It's the ego which has to surrender to the spirit, not the spirit surrender to the beast. Choose. Who rules you? What's the ruling force? Are you victim to your desires, to your addictions? Are you victim to the body, to the beast? Or is it the spirit within you, who you really are, that has come up, has seen the beast, and has subdued all of the desires? Who's in control? And then we wonder why we feel like we are in hiding. We're hiding our true selves, right? Why do you think this happens? Perhaps it's because the real you is sitting inside, not being nurtured, and it's the ego, the egoic self, the false persona that we put on for the world to see, which is the ruling force. It's the ego also, which feels lonely and sad and this and that and whatever else. That is all part of the ego, because when the true you really comes forth, embodies the physical vessel, and now becomes its ruling force, there is no such thing as loneliness, because the spirit is already whole and complete. There is no need to look outside yourselves. There is no need to find others who are like-minded, because you are now whole and complete. So ask yourself, are you wondering still why perhaps that you feel like you're not being yourself? Perhaps it's not actually you that you have been nurturing, and instead it's been the beast. This may sound la-di-da and blah blah blah, but this is actually a serious topic that every man should be introspecting about, because there are two forces within us, and this is not a joke. I have experienced them, and the beast and spirit concept is very real. The cognitive dissonance on this subject comes about when man can't, or let's just say that the fearful ego can't accept the fact that he is not the body, which is everything that he has been trying to fix, or it has been trying to fix. That's the ego. The ego is what suffers the cognitive dissonance, because it doesn't want its illusions destroyed. And it is true, man will defend his illusions to his death, especially if he hasn't got the spark within. And I guess this is where the NPC concept comes in, when it's got the two different humans, you know, it's got the ones that can see and the ones that can't see. So let's say fuck you to the ones that can't see, and let's keep them out of this. But as for spirited man, now this is a good thing to actually consider, because real spirited man, is not here to actually learn anything or wake up to anything, because it's true that from very young we have always been awake. We've always known that there was something wrong, right? I'm sure you can relate. Follow me. Now, those who believe or think that they're here to get something and wake up and learn, I'm sorry, but you can't learn nothing external from yourself. There's nowhere you can look to find the answers. It's either you're born with it or you're not. This is the hard truth. You're either born with it or you're not. Now, this is not to say that you can't call upon the spirit to descend upon you, because absolutely robotic beings can do so also. Some may agree, some may disagree. But the ones that have the source, the divine spark within, they are born with it, or they're not. It's simple. This is not to be harsh, because this is the truth. So just quickly to wrap it all up, basically there are two aspects within man. There is the vessel that we currently occupy temporarily till it passes or till it decays and whatever. And then there's the undying spirit that you are, that is actually meant to be using the vessel to, well, it's not actually using the vessel, but it is peering through the eyes of the vessel, and it is now forced actually to experience this existence, which is actually quite a disgusting one, sadly. But here we are, and we have no choice but to continually go about our day, one after the other, till our last breath. Until then, you have to make a conscious decision of which entity you are choosing to feed. Are you choosing to feed the desires of the vessel, or are you choosing to devote yourself to the spirit, to the knowledge, knowing and gnosis of that which comes with your connection to your source external to the fucking matrix? Now, the egoic self, as I mentioned, has to surrender to the fucking spirit. This is the soul aspect, the soul fucking cage. The soul, the ego, and the spirit. The spirit is trapped within it. Now, the spirit has to be the ruling force. The ego, the soul, has to fucking surrender to the fucking spirit. Get this. Understand this. The beast has to surrender to the spirit. If the spirit is still surrendering to the beast, fucking look at your shit, man. Look at your shit. There's not much more I can say, but you have to be able to identify the difference between the two. This is true discernment. Are you here to play? Are you really here to learn? Or are you here to remember what you have forgotten? Without his connection to spirit, physical celestial man is that of a decomposing meat sack. Physical celestial man carries the depleted, loping spirit around with him only as a memory. The nostalgia for some mysterious connection sets in, and man looks outwards for completion, unknowing that it is his essence within that has been extinguished. It is this part of physical celestial man that loves him eternally, for it is this part that has never left him. Instead, It is physical man who has abandoned his celestial nature. If you have made it this far into the video, I hope you've enjoyed the documentations. Take care. Bye now.